Just recently, Wonderlands Redux hit an insane milestone, crossing over 100,000 total downloads and over 40,000 unique downloads. This makes it one of the largest mods in Borderlands history and also one of the most successful, and we wanted to celebrate it, which is why we're working on the 100k hotfix. If you guys know me, you'll know that I've been modding for a long time. I started back in Borderlands 3, learning off of other modders to hopefully one day make a mod of my own, and I started by making a mod pack because I wasn't happy with the state of Borderlands 3. I wanted it in a different state. I wanted Borderlands 3 to feel how I wanted it to feel, and so that's what I did. And it seemed that a lot of people felt the same way and they were asking me for my mod pack. So we put in tons and tons of work until eventually Borderlands 3 Redux was born. This mod became one of the largest mods in Borderlands history. It surpassed so many downloads. It made players unbelievably happy, and it also taught me a lot about what I should do next time. There were a lot of issues, a lot of people were unhappy with a lot of features, even though it was also pleasing a lot of people, and so I knew that for my next mod, I would have to go bigger, better, I would have to learn from my mistakes, and so that's what I did. With a few friends, I made Wonderlands Redux, and Wonderlands Redux is the culmination of everything I had learned. We had some great people working together to make something that was truly special, and when we finally released the mod, it lived up to everybody's expectations. Kotaku said it could reasonably be called an expansion in and of itself. Games Radar said Wonderlands Redux is seriously impressive, and PC Gamer were quoted saying that it's almost an entirely different game. Now, even though we don't work on big updates for Redux anymore, it is crazy that the mod is still gaining players to this day. Wonderlands has very recently on PC gone over the 2,000 active player count mark, which is kind of crazy because that's actually up from where it was. And just in the past week, one thing that I can tell you guys, which is really cool, is that Redux has gained over 1,000 new players. And so to celebrate that, in this video, I'm not going to do a trailer for this new update. Instead, I just want to show you some of the things the team is working on, and I really hope that you guys like it and you're going to enjoy this update. This isn't going to be a patch update, it'll be a small hotfix update, and it's just a little labor of love to kind of smooth over some, things which maybe needed polishing, or maybe just add some stuff which people might enjoy. First of all, let's talk about enchantments. So as it currently stands, a new enchantment will be present in this update, and it's called Eye of Fortune. The Eye of Fortune is not your typical enchantment, and instead what Eye of Fortune does is greatly increase the sell value of the item in question. We've had many circumstances before where players wanted additional ways to get gold, to buy stuff like SDUs and more, and we didn't just want to reduce them to blindly selling every piece of loot they find on the ground. We wanted to make that more of an interactive experience, so now you can see the difference between a non-enchanted Eye of Fortune Soul Render versus one that has Eye of Fortune. The difference is crazy. Well, the one with Eye of Fortune has so much more value, and then players can take this to a vendor, sell it, and get tons of cash to go and spend on respawnable totems or their SDUs and so much more. And so I'm really happy about that, and I think it's going to add a lot more interactivity to the enchanting system in Redux. Now, another new feature which I think people are really going to like is a Melda. Now, a Melda from the mirrors. As you guys know, the mirrors went through a lot of makeover in Redux, but one that we're still unhappy with and have been unhappy with for a while is a Melda, because you might famously remember my reaction to the second PLC in Wonderlands where I was very upset. I didn't understand why we had a melee weapon archetype in this game, and yet there were bosses which you just literally could not melee. Melda stands up on that platform and you can't get over to her to melee at all. In the base game, there is no double jumping and dashing, so even if there wasn't a huge invisible barrier there, you still would not be able to get to her. And in Redux, there is double jumping and dashing, and in this new update, we're going to be removing that invisible barrier, meaning if you're a melee player, you can now jump and dash over to this platform, and now you can take on a Melda with your melee weapons perfectly fine. And what we've even done is made sure that all of the blocking volumes up here are still in place, so you can't just go and run outside of the map as easily. And I think this is going to be really, really good for players in general, and be a high quality change to the mod. And I gotta give a big shout out to the MVP Smug. Now Smug is another modder in the community, really talented individual, and they work a lot with SDK mods. Now I already knew how to get rid of blocking volumes in the game, but because there is so many in maps, usually hundreds that you just cannot see, I was really struggling with finding the specific ones I had to move in this arena. But thanks to Smug, and as you can see with the coordinates in the top left of my screen, I was able to track down, with his help, these blocking volumes to remove them. And I finally was able to pull this off with the help of him, so thank you Smug. And yeah, just a great feature overall that is coming in the next update. We've also heard wants for more loot from the maker, people not really feeling that their time invested in this fight, even with the raid boss rush mode, is just like, it's wasted. They don't feel like it's worth, they don't get enough loot for their investment. They would rather just do other things in the mod and get their loot that way. And I totally understand that, and that's why we're also making changes to the maker in this update also. So killing the maker is now going to reward you with tons of more drops from her, including money, moon orbs, weapons, and also an increased chance and even more of her dedicated drops too. So you can now expect to be getting more loot in general from the maker, but also, like the Monarch is in her dedicated drop pool, you'll now get a better chance at getting a Monarch or other variants of the Monarch from the maker also. And finally, what we're going to be showing off in this video is perhaps the biggest feature which is going to be coming in this update. And this is one which was originally going to just be left as a secret in Redux for a long time, but as you can see here, a new boss will be making its way into this update, named Zephyros the Buried Tyrant. Now, Zephyros has been in Redux for a very long time, as a secret which was never supposed to be found. In fact, getting Zephyros to spawn in Redux, you could argue, was 10 times as rare as getting Triple O to spawn in Borderlands 2, and it was because this was an unfinished boss which we never really had the time to flesh out, and so we just kind of left it in there with an extremely low chance of showing up in a Chaos Chamber run. Well, in this new update, Zephyros has been finished, and Zephyros will be a rare spawn within the boss rush playlist of the Chaos Chamber. I believe that Zephyros has the highest health of any of the legacy hunts in Redux, and because of this, you should be rewarded if you are able to take Zephyros down. Now, I'm running a very good build, so hopefully I'll be able to get them down for this showcase here. But killing Zephyros is going to boast you with an equal amount of loot as killing the Maker would reward you with. And additionally, it's going to give you an almost guaranteed chance at getting a world drop pearlescent from any pool. This boss is not for players who are not at endgame, and it certainly is not for players who do not have a solid build together. This guy, for lack of a better term, is a major bullet sponge, and he is going to require a lot of power to actually bring down. But as you can see, I'm about to take down Zephyros, and the amount of loot we are going to get for killing him is going to be pretty damn stupid, and very similar to what you saw the Maker reward us with. And as you can see, the pearls have started to flow as well. So yes, just a cool little secret legacy hunt boss that you'll be able to encounter in your Chaos Chamber runs. And yeah, I'm very excited to see people struggle to take down this boss when they come across it. Now, there is no currently planned release date for this update. If you want to stay up to date and find out when it's going to be releasing, I highly recommend that you go and follow the official Lands Redux account on Twitter, which is where we will post stuff like, you know, obviously the update notes and more over there, as well as myself on Twitter at EpicNNG. this is going to be a pretty cool update, and I'd love to see what you guys would love thrown in here as well. So leave a comment down below what you want to see, and thank you everybody for playing Redux. You know, this mod has been a passion project of mine for a long time, and it ultimately has always been about the players and what the players want and what I want as well, and what our team wants and what we want to see and how we want to inspire. We've always wanted Gearbox to look at the content we make and go, okay, maybe this is what the players want. And so we've always tried to make content that reflects that, and just show them and show the community that this is a place and this mod is a product that people can feel like they are part of, that they've had their hand in for a long time, and we really just wanted to make it feel like this was by the community, for the community, and use this as kind of the example. So thank you everybody for everything, really. Thank you for over 100,000 downloads, over 42,000 as of right now at least unique downloads, and yeah, I always, you know, people sending me screenshots of like the Steam reviews for Wonderlands saying to just buy the game if you get Redux as well, and like Redux is a must-have, and it's just incredible. You know, this to me is my true magnum opus, and something I really feel like I knocked it out of the park, and everybody else who worked on it for that matter. Everybody has just done an incredible job. So I'm gonna stop ranting there. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, with that being said, you know, have a good day guys, and I hope you enjoy the update when it releases.